back at the Great Western Forum. I tell you, I've reached a lot of decisions about this date this week, including the mascot. Gretzky wins the draw. Waters off the right point. And Waters line up with Hagood. Waters continues to battle for the puck. Gets some help here. Sandstrom puts it in front. That's steered aside. And up come the Edmonton Oilers. 3 Kings, now 4 get back. 2 Oilers moving up. And Nichols dumped it in from his own side of center. It's waved off as Rudy played the puck. Rudy hasn't had a whole lot to do here in the second period. Here's Marty McSorley across the Edmonton line. Weak shot wide of the net. Sandstrom with it back of the goal. Chased aside by a diver. It rolls right to Ranford, who covers and brings about a face-off. Little under 3 minutes remaining in the second period. Some more pushing and shoving in front of the net. The game tied 1-1 on goals by Tikkanen of Edmonton, Gretzky of the Kings.
This bench gets a professional finish with Krylon spray paint. No runs, no drips, no errors. Dries to the touch in minutes. The other brand's still tacky. Wow! What a game!
Good game, Mr. Euchre.
Hey, she's a lot tougher than she looks. For a fast, smooth, professional finish, get Krylon.
If you're looking for a little excitement, a shot in the arm, or something with a bit more punch, check out the Stanley Cup playoffs. Sports Channel America, the network home of the NHL.
4 shots on goal is all the Edmonton Oilers have had so far here in the second period. Although they did have a couple of anxious moments for Kelly Rudy, as you pointed out so far, they haven't had a consistent effort at all. It's been mostly down in Bill Ranford's end of the ice.
That's where they are for this face-off. Tony Granato with Taylor and Robitaille. Luke Robitaille gets draped on the boards. Taylor got a shot away that just went wide. Forward is Joe Murphy. Murphy taking it and Donfus together. Puck cleared out of the zone, recovered at center ice, and the Oilers feed it to the left side, but out of the reach of Donfus. Kings failed to clear it. Now they get a break as Manson couldn't handle the puck. Manson shot it back in. Paul Coffey will chase it. 2:22 up on the board. Time remaining in the second period. Otto down the left side with a long shot that's wide of the net. Taylor goes in after it. Dave Taylor got away from Hagood. Looks for somebody in the slot. Everybody covered. Taylor battling Hagood. Dave Taylor sets up Granato in deep to Robitaille. Lucky trying to get away from the grips of Glynn. There's going to be a penalty against the Edmonton Oilers. Rudy is already on the bench for the extra attacker as Gretzky turns the puck back into the Oilers zone. Now the whistle from referee Bill McCreary, and one more Los Angeles power play.
Just 2 minutes remaining. As a matter of fact, 8 seconds less than 2 minutes in the second period, and another opportunity for the Los Angeles Kings. It was a holding penalty.
Edmonton penalty to number 34.
Greg Hagood.
2 minutes for holding.
He's had the best scoring opportunity in the second period for the Edmonton Oilers. He now draws a holding penalty as he got a hold of Luke Robitaille. Held him for the longest time.
Well, the LA Kings on the power play for the 5th time in the game. Last chance when Manson took that tripping penalty. Los Angeles had 5 shots during the 2 minutes with the man advantage. Corey Millen wins the draw. The Kings move it back. This is Paul Coffey to Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky, over it goes. Long shot by Blake, turned aside. Rob Blake feeds it back in the net. Gretzky open and calling for it. Gets it. Wayne Gretzky with a drive. He scores!
Happiness in LA is a Wayne Gretzky goal and a 1-goal lead in the second period. The power play comes alive for Los Angeles. Some pretty good puck handling, good motion, good puck motion, good body motion on the power play. Gretzky is shot up high. Ranford thought he had it, but there you see it trickle across the goal line. A power play goal for Los Angeles. There's the shot by Gretzky. Question now is, did Corey Millen possibly touch it? But right now it's Gretzky's goal. nobody here in the Great Western Forum cares as long as this one counts.
And it does. Assists have been credited to Corey Millen and Rob Blake. The time of the goal is 18:23. 15 seconds after the penalty to Hawgood. So it's 2-1 Los Angeles now. Bertie Nichols tipped the puck smartly. Hawgood sets up Klima. Didn't have anybody to give it to, so he tipped it wide of the net, and Donnelly failed to get it out of the zone. Norm McIver skies it into the corner. It's knocked down, cleared by Millen, up to Donnelly, and he shoots it down the ice just wide of Bill Ranford's net. That'll be called back in an icing against the Kings. Now inside the final minute of play of period 2.
I'll tell you, Jigs, if you're the Edmonton Oilers, you love just what happened now. The Los Angeles Kings, another bad play, a technically bad play by just dumping the puck down the ice. They were taking pressure off, they panicked, and now a face-off deep in LA's end of the ice. Wayne Gretzky, 2 goals in this hockey game.
It never finished lower than second in league scoring till this year when he finished third behind Mario Lemieux and Kevin Stevens. Lemieux with 131 points, Stevens 123, Gretzky 121. And we said at the outset they were wondering what was going on. Wayne hadn't scored in a dozen postseason games, but tonight he's had both Kings goals and they're up 2-1.
Well, you can see that he's more involved with the game, this particular hockey game, although he's made a couple of bad passes in the game, but he's handled the puck more. And you see him now get away from behind the net. He's starting to get into a little more motion, particularly on the power play. He was putting himself out into position to score a goal rather than camp behind the net trying to pass it to somebody.
Los Angeles, certainly the fans included, hoping to go to Edmonton with a chance to win it there. Certainly have 2 chances to win 1 game and advance to the next round. Never gone beyond the second round of the playoffs since that deal to acquire Wayne Gretzky. Puck cleared out of the zone by Kadowski. Loose, chasing it is Granato, dropping back Manson. Granato pulled up on him, then is bugged, taken to the boards heavily by Manson. Puck ends up here in the near corner. Bertie Nichols lays it around to the far side of the ice. Battle for it at the Edmonton line, won by Granato, and he shot it off Ranford. Final 20 seconds of the period ticking down here. The Edmonton Oilers get it out of the zone, then Nichols tumbles to the deck, and Rob Blake comes up with the puck. The pass to Gretzky, and he chips it down into the Edmonton end. Inside the final 10 seconds. Now 5 as Manson plays it up the boards. Robitaille duffed it. The Oilers will clear it, and there's the horn to end the second period. More jostling after the whistle as you watch Kelly Rudy skate up the ice toward the Kings dressing room.
Robitaille and Manson having a lot to say to each other as the period comes to an end.
And in that period, the Los Angeles Kings take a 2-1 lead. You're not going to believe the shots on goal total. Los Angeles with 19 shots in the period to the Edmonton Oilers 4. 19-4, 2-1 in goals, and the Los Angeles Kings have a 2-1 lead, but there's still 20 minutes to play here in LA.
Wings applying the pressure, but John Casey, he's up to the task. He makes a beautiful save here on Steve Yzerman. He robs him, but Yzerman would get his revenge. Down a man. He'll beat Casey with a snapshot to the top corner, a shorthanded goal, and Winnipeg win the Wings up by a 1-0 score. Then play gets a little bit chippy. A flagrant spear, and it's that man Yzerman again. He whacks David Shaw right in the groin. That's a penalty. Minnesota gets their revenge in the second period. Chris Dahlquist will level Yzerman with a vicious elbow to the head. Yzerman was okay. Third period, Minnesota gets a chance. Mike Modano turns on the Jets, but Brad McCrimmon will come up with a defensive play here. He knocks the puck away to save a possible goal. Moments later, the Wings get some insurance. Martin Lapointe with a great outlet pass to rookie Mike Sillinger, who blows one right by Casey. The Wings go up by a score of 2-0. And Detroit would win this one 3-0 as Jimmy Carson adds an empty net goal. Tim Cheveldae with 22 saves. This series now moves back to Minnesota. Remember, last year in round number 1, when the North Stars pulled their upset over Chicago, it came in 6 games as well. At Chicago Stadium, the Blues and Blackhawks, Jocelyn Lemieux playing the role of first period bully. Check out number 26 throwing his weight around. First victim, Garth Butcher, and then Philippe Bozon for good measure as well. And if that was not enough, Mr. Lemieux makes Garth Butcher a part of the sideboards in Chicago. Second period, the score is tied up at 2. Brian Noonan's slap shot is stopped, but Mike Hudson is there for the rebound, but he kicks it in. Watch here. It crosses the line. He kicked it in. No goal. Midway through the period, Chicago down 3-2, and on the power play, Steve Larmer winds up and lets it fly. Hawks tie it up at 3 apiece. Chicago will then grab the lead just minutes later. From behind the net, it's Brad Lauer past Curtis Joseph for the wraparound and the goal. The Hawks back on top by a score of 4-3. Early third period, Chris Chelios unloads from the top of the circle. It'll be his third goal of the series. The Hawks go up by a score of 5-3. Chicago will ice the game. Jocelyn Lemieux skates down the left wing, and he'll put it through the 5-hole. There's the goal. The Blackhawks win it by a score of 6-4. And now Chicago leads in this best-of-7 series 3-2. Steve Larmer with a pair of goals in the Chicago victory. When we come back after this timeout, we'll bring you the series. They're trying to avoid that this year. Leading the Vancouver Canucks 3-1. The Jets trying to wrap it up. And with Vancouver facing elimination, they get a big effort from Kirk McLean. And they get it. Look at the save on Teppo Numminen. Then play gets rough. If Jenny Davidoff gets checked into a TV cameraman, and Davidoff gets the worst of that collision. What a way to break into television. First period, Pavel Bure slips a backhander by Rick Tabaracci, giving the Canucks an early lead. Final seconds of the period on the power play. Pavel Bure breaks his stick, but Jim Sandalak helps it into the net with a hard backhander. 2-0 Canucks after 1. Second period, the floodgates will open. Dave Babbage fans on the shot, but he stays with it and beats Tabaracci. 3-0 Vancouver. Moments later on the power play, Urke Lume picks up a rebound and beats Tabaracci again. Make it 4-0 in favor of the Vancouver Canucks. Tabaracci was lifted. Bob Essenza in. Doesn't matter. Vancouver with a 7-2 lead. Jim Sandalak with a pair of goals in this game as Vancouver tries to keep their hopes alive. Right now they're in the third period, 7-2 in favor of Vancouver. Well, earlier this evening at the Great Western Forum, veteran defenseman Larry Robinson announced that he would retire after the playoffs. Robinson is in his 20th season in the NHL, which started in Montreal, and Robinson has skated with 6 Stanley Cup victories. Robinson spoke with the fans at the Great Western Forum, and it sounds like he's looking for a job as well.
On behalf of my family, I want to thank you very, very much. Sounds more like I'm dying than I'm retiring. I hope that I will remain with the organization. That's up to Bruce. It's been a great 3 years. You've been very, very wonderful to us. I'd like to thank the organization, all of the fans, all of the media people, everybody for putting up with an old fella and letting him play something that he loves. Thank you very much.
Larry Robinson. Earlier this evening at the Great Western Forum, the Kings lead the Oilers 2-1 at the end of 2 periods. We now pause for a regional break.
Edmonton Oilers 1. I'm Jakes McDonald with Ed Westfall. I don't think he was ready for it. And certainly a great shot by Tikkanen, but LA seems to play better once they get behind, don't they?
Yeah, we've been trying to point that out all the way along, but here before the first minute has gone by, in the first period, this blast from Esa Tikkanen, short side. Kelly Rudy down, went over his left arm, and he's saying, for heaven's sake, Kelly Rudy, stand up, challenge the shooters. That's not the kind of a goal that you can give up in a playoff game, and that's what happened. But anyway, it all got back to the Los Angeles Kings, Jigs. They started to skate. A couple of things happened. They hit a goal post. I think Paul Coffey again got things going on that goal that did not count, where he got in, jammed the net, and from there things started to loosen up pretty good for Los Angeles.
Yeah, it really did, and then the drought ended, as they were saying around here. Wayne Gretzky, the guy that everybody pays to come see, scored a playoff goal that tied the hockey game, and he was to get another one that gave them the lead. But Gretzky with only 2 shots in the period, 2 shots in the game, and both in the net.
Well, you can see the play that really got things going here was that Luc Robitaille there, falling down one-handed, hit the goal post, and there's Gretzky on the right side of the screen, left side of the net as Ranford looks, pops it in. Gretzky with his first goal of the playoffs, and he is one relieved camper. You know, Gretzky usually camps out where the puck is now, behind the net. Good hockey players know how to adjust, Jigs, and of course, he being a great one adjusted well because he moved away from behind the net in this hockey game, and because he moved away, there he is. You'll see his stick on the puck off the pad of Bill Ranford. Ranford didn't see it as it trickled across the goal line. That was the first of 2 goals in the period for Wayne Gretzky.
Los Angeles would go to the power play 3 consecutive times and add a goal. We go back to check the summary of the period. It's Tikkanen's first playoff goal of this series from Nichols and Richardson. Came at the 47-second mark. And the Gretzky goal that you just saw from Robitaille and Granato tied it at 4:02. And on their 3rd consecutive power play, Gretzky from Millen and Blake at 18:23. We're getting ready for the 3rd period as the teams return. Back with the face-off in a moment.
They must have heard the good news. Molson's 35-year history with the NHL is going to continue. Molson, bringing you Sports Channel America's exciting NHL coverage.
1976. The youth of the world gathered in Montreal. Everlasting memories, brought to you by the International Olympic Committee.
Let's play a guessing game. Which brands did Consumer Reports rate the best? General Electric, Maytag, or Whirlpool? Isuzu Rodeo or Jeep Cherokee? Zenith, Sony, or RCA? Guessing games are fun, but when you really need to know the brands to buy, you don't want to play games. You want facts. And that's what you'll get when you call for your free trial issue of Consumer Reports.
Every month, Consumer Reports tests and rates products by brand name. Gives you all the pros and cons, including the price we paid. Call for your free trial issue now. If you like it, you'll get 11 more issues, including our famous auto issue and the 1993 buying guide issue, all for just $22. Or write cancel on the bill and owe nothing. You'll also get our current 1992 buying guide issue and the new medicine show absolutely free.
So join the more than 5 million Consumer Reports subscribers who never play guessing games when they shop. Call for your free trial issue now.
Call 1-800-841-0300.
From the drop of the puck to open up the 3rd period, the Oilers have put it in the Los Angeles zone, and Tikkanen rips one on Kelly Rudy. And Rudy gets bumped as he was out of the net. The puck still loose, controlled now by Baranek. Baranek trying to go back in the net, centered, and Tikkanen had been knocked flying by Marty McSorley. Rudy was yelling at referee Bill McCreary. The Oilers come to center, but out of their zone with a 2-line pass and offside. Bang, quick start to this 3rd period.
Well, a lot of action all of a sudden when you think of the 2nd period. There's the shot by Tikkanen. Kelly Rudy was charging out there. Look at, he gets nailed from behind, knocked down. All kinds of crazy things happening at the beginning of the 3rd period.
Now the crowd is all over referee Bill McCreary. The backup official tonight is Ryan Bozak, one of the league's linesmen who is not in postseason play. Kind of surprised as well that Mark Perry didn't get a playoff assignment. Officials moving around a lot. Bill McCreary worked last night. Friday night, not last night. Friday night he worked. Now we watch Murphy move the puck into the LA zone. The man coming in, and Donfus got checked, and the LA Kings start out. Dave Taylor through center ice has fed Paul Coffey over the line on the right side. Taylor to the front of the net. Coffey holds it, shoots off the post to the left of the net. Back come the Edmonton Oilers. Donfus down left wing, cuts to the right, centered one. Here's Nichols, and Rudy got a chunk of that. Ends up on the end boards. Huddy took the man. Coffey takes the puck from Huddy, and now Coffey. A shot at the length of the ice. Ranford will play it. Back in the play, Granato had been given a one-punch job by one of the Oilers. We'll watch Ranford stretch out to cover The puck as it was dumped back into his goal mouth area.
And you wonder a little bit, Jigs, here with the Los Angeles Kings trying to open up the game that they're leading in 2-1. Maybe not such a wise move. Maybe they were forced to by Edmonton. What a beautiful move by Paul Coffey. A solo dash up the ice. The patience of a veteran. He pulled up at the puck, held it, and moved into a better scoring position, put it off the goal post to the left of Bill Ranford. Coffey looks like he's in full speed when he's standing still. He has that look about him, and he is that quick and that fast.
Yeah, he can really motor. One thing about Paul Coffey, maybe 30, 31 years of age now. He's still got those young legs.
And he's still got the shot. He hasn't lost anything. He just knows how to apply it better, that's all.
Highest scoring regular season defenseman in the history of the National Hockey League. Goals and assists. Kings just took the puck away. Millen setting up Donnelly for a shot. Loose in front. Ranford sprawls and covers it. And Millen is taken to the end boards. Donnelly steps in as Glynn and given little Corey Millen quite a shot.
Well, Millen and Donnelly, they're not exactly the biggest guys in the world, and they're being towered and looked down on. Not by Hawgood, I'll tell you.
We'll pause now for this message, and when we come back, we'll check in with Bob Papa in our Sports Channel studios.
They must have heard the good news. Molson's 35-year history with the NHL is going to continue. Molson, bringing you Sports Channel America's exciting NHL coverage.
Tack another one on for the Vancouver Canucks. Ryan Walter and Randy Gregg set up Jeff Courtnall. Courtnall gets his first goal of the playoffs. It's now 8-2 Canucks in the third.
Now Donnelly's in the penalty box for the, well, they're getting more company now. Or they are getting company, I should say. Waters is in now along with Donnelly. Here's the announcement.
Number 14, Craig McTavish. Los Angeles, number 5, Tim Waters. 2 minutes each, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, it started out with Glynn and Donnelly. Donnelly got 2 for a high sticking, and Glynn got his for roughing. And then McTavish and Waters continued to yap at one another, push at one another. And referee Bill McCreary just said, enough, get out of here, and hands out unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
Now, some of the ugliness hasn't broken loose in this hockey game. Look at the retort of Tom Webster. He's really upset. Calls the players over, then he'll tell one of the players, get over and tell that referee, da 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 da. And I'll say to the coach, look, coach, if I go tell him that, he'll give me 10 minutes.
We're laughing with Billy McCreary watching some of the games from the Wales conference last night, talking about coaches and some of the funniest lines that he's heard. He said, really, there aren't any funny coaches anymore. You don't hear too many funny lines.
Ted Green was pretty funny this morning. There's a hard high one.
It's Rob Blake who unloaded. Puck ends up back in the net. Dave Manson centers one across, and up comes McIver. And to the left side for Scott Mellenby. Mellenby for Edmonton. Shot it off the skate of Rob Blake. It ends up in the far corner. Jay Miller, who had been shaken up in the second period, is back out for Los Angeles now on this forward line with Kadowski. Puck dumped in. Rudy held it, then played it around to the left wing boards. Mellenby bumped Jay Miller off the puck. It comes out in front, then held at the line now by Manson. Long shot. Rudy has it, and there's no further play.
Seems to be a lot of play away from the puck, too, Jigs. Players knocking each other down, jabbing at the ankles, quick elbow. We saw Bernie Nichols a while ago. He fell down on Tony Granato, and he just out and out punched him. Granato laying underneath him. Nichols got up, skated away. Granato, no chance to do anything. Went off the ice.
Now the Kings making a change. Out comes Kadowski, Granato, and Taylor. 2-1. Los Angeles leading. Both LA goals by Wayne Gretzky, giving him 95 in Stanley Cup playoff history now. Each team has had 3 shots on goal through the first 3 minutes. Make it 2 minutes and 18 seconds of this third period. Hranek to take the face-off. Kanelski and Charlie Huddy talking on the far side of the ice. There's Charlie Huddy. He has had moments of greatness in this series, and he's had a couple of other moments that he would like to have back and do all over again. Bob Kanelski now will step in to take the draw. Kanelski wins the face-off. Huddy takes it from the corner, then gave it to Coffey. Well, Coffey flips it out of the zone. Dave Taylor knocked it down. He's got a man moving up. Taylor holds it inside the line to the late man, and the shot turned aside by Ranford. Nice play, as it turned out. Kings failed to finish it off, and now they hold the puck in the Edmonton zone. It ends up behind Bill Ranford's net. The Oilers try to come up the right wing boards. And Dude taking him with a cross ice pass to Klima. Shoots. That goes off Huddy and out of play.
Important thing for the Los Angeles Kings is not to be outnumbered coming up the ice. There's Paul Coffey coming into this hockey game. 4 goals, 3 of them on the power play. He has ignited the offense of the Los Angeles Kings. He did a lot of that with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Before that, the team he's playing against, the Edmonton Oilers.
How about those Pittsburgh Penguins facing elimination now? The defending Stanley Cup champs down 3-1 to the Washington Capitals.
Understand the way the Washington Capitals are playing, they'd beat just about anybody. They are one solid team. A lot of depth coming through for the Washington Capitals.
They go back home to the Cap Center now for Game 5 of that series.
Dino Ciccarelli, 4 goals in that hockey game, and they sent Tom Barrasso to the bench. Ken Reggett come in to replace him.
But it was all Washington in that game last night at Pittsburgh. Rangers have gotten their series even, as you know, with the New Jersey Devils. Tonight, just come in, the Blackhawks are up a game over the St. Louis Blues thanks to a 6-4 win in Chicago. The Red Wings are still in it, a shutout win at home at Detroit tonight. So they'll go back to Minnesota, trailing by a game.
Linesman Brian Murphy having a conference call with the teams. Awful time trying to get the puck dropped.
2 American linesmen, Murphy and Collins. Edmonton had the puck, lost it, had it again, and score! And the goal will count. Bill McCreary signaling goal, and the game is tied 2-2.
You could see Edmonton trying to set up a play, and they did. Down Foose gets the goal to tie it at 2 apiece. It took forever. Looked as though the Los Angeles Kings seemed like they knew what they were doing, but then all of a sudden, Wayne Gretzky looked back over at the bench just as the puck was dropped, as if he was looking for a signal from the coach. And here, Bernie Nichols not only won the draw, held on to the puck, got it over. There's the play by Dom Foose, a 2-1 lead.
Dom Foose has at least a point in every game in this series. That's his 4th goal. And it comes at the 2:55 mark. The Kings and the Oilers are tied 2-2. Murphy comes up with the puck. Long pass. Dom Foose down left wing, but it's called back. 2-line pass, nullifying any chance for Vincent Domfus. Bernie Nichols with his 2nd assist in the game. He too has had a point in each one of these games. Joe Murphy has blossomed into some player, hasn't he?
He certainly has, Jiggs. He has a great presence. Has a good feel for positioning himself. Knows when to go for the puck, when not to go. The maturing Joe Murphy.
Now the face-off is inside the Edmonton blue line. Nichols and Murphy discuss it. Renato backs Robitaille a little further to the left. Robitaille takes another half step. Didn't matter. The puck came outside the line, and Brent Thompson shoots it back in. Thompson, number 56 on defense for Los Angeles. Nikkanen has come out to join this line with Murphy and Domfus. Edmonton will be called for having iced the puck. It's going to take forever to play the... It off deep in the Edmonton zone to the right of the net. The game tied 2-2.
All cars are made with sheets of metal. But one of these sheets is actually a sandwich of steel, resin, and steel. used by Lexus to help quiet the cabin of the LS400. Care to guess which one?
Goal as now we're back. Face off to the left of the Edmonton goal.
Thought I'd lost you there for a minute.
Going to get more film. Do you suppose Sports Illustrated buys freelance pictures for their bathing suit issue?
What are you leading to now?
Just the week at the pool, that's all.
Oh, all right. It must be getting late.
Yeah, we're down to the B material, huh? Baranek chasing the puck into the LA zone. Blake plays it around the boards. Hoggard with a shot. Rudy a stretching save, and the puck came loose. Rob Blake feeds it up ahead. Kings come to center. 3-on-3 as it turns out, but Granado gets a shot away and just missed. The rebound put out in front. Cleared aside by the Edmonton D with Ranford in a prone possession. This is Klima. He gets across the line. Offside being delayed. The Kings played the puck. The Edmonton Oilers now clear the zone, and the Kings start out. Rob Blake through center ice. Flips it down into the Edmonton zone. Bounced it toward Ranford. McIver back for it. McIver will lead the run. Former New York Ranger comes to center ice. Played it off the boards on left wing ahead of Gompfus. And back goes Coffey for LA. All Coffey down to Arelena, and it's rolled off his stick and is played back through center ice. Here's a 2-on-1 break for the Oilers. Ernie Nichols to Domfus to Murphy instead, who stepped in front of Domfus. And the Kings get out of some trouble. Now Nichols going for the puck. It's knocked off balance by Huddy, and out come the Kings. They're down the right side. Millen across the line, got the play onside again. Kadowski with a shot that went wide of the net. Ernie Nichols goes for it. Huddy stepped in front of him, and Nichols jams it back inside the LA blue line. Well, Coffey flips it up in the air. Charlie Huddy had knocked it down. Now Nichols turns back at the Los Angeles blue line, and he likes to dump it in. It's right at the end of the shift. Ellenby, fresh legs out there, chased it into the corner, and Paul Coffey comes up with the puck. Coffey to Karjalainen up the right wing board. And Millen gets tied up inside the Edmonton zone. The Edmonton player is all over him, is down on the deck. The puck's still loose. No penalty call. Crowd, as you hear, yelling and screaming. Now Hoggard is back inside the LA line with a neat little pass. Here's Bellamy closing in, and he can't tuck it in on the short side. Back comes Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky rushing down the far side across the Edmonton line. Gretzky holds it, shoots, turned aside by Ranford. The rebound, fake once by Coffey, and he never got it on target, nor did he make a pass. This is Kelly Buchberger shooting it around the boards in the LA end. Now Edmonton gets a chance to change on the fly. Robitaille comes back in, digging the puck off the boards. Gets tied up and tries to get away from Baranek. It's checked. Baranek with a shot that's deflected at the defense. Blake all over Baranek. And the Kings clear towards center ice. Robitaille can't pick it up. The Oilers put it back inside the zone on the delayed offside. Taken it and then wrapped up with Coffey. That's Robitaille getting checked at his own line. Now Klima has it for Edmonton. Feeds Tikkanen off the wing with a shot that's grabbed and then dropped off by Rudy. Paul Coffey winds up, puts on a skating display, comes over the line. Coffey through the defense. Can he finish it? No! And the Kings couldn't finish it on the rebound either. And now Granado is hammered, and there will be a penalty on Dave Manson. Los Angeles going to the power play as Manson goes to the penalty box, and we pause now for a regional break.
2 win over Winnipeg. Game 6 Tuesday night in Winnipeg. Now back to Jiggs and Eddie.
Los Angeles get their 6th power play of the hockey game. They've been good once in the first 5. Manson takes a slashing penalty on Tony Granado.
On the power play, Robitaille is on the left side. Gretzky on the right with Corey Millen in the middle. Charlie Huddy and Rob Blake on the points. McTavish went over to talk to Hoggard before the puck was dropped. McTavish will face off with Millen. Corey Millen acquired from the New York Rangers for Randy Gillen. Got it back to Huddy, to Gretzky. Once more to Huddy, to Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky lets it go. Right into the top of the pads. And Ranford squeezes them tight.
Shot up just a little bit high, but again, Wayne Gretzky continues to stay away from the position behind the net that he would generally occupy on a power play, and it's been much better for he and the Los Angeles Kings. That shot by Gretzky up fairly high, and Ranford had no problem handling it.
Paul Coffey has come out to take Charlie Huddy's place. No change for Edmonton. Buckberger and McTavish up front with Glynn and Hoggood on defense. McTavish and Millen on the faceoff. One again by Millen. Ron Blake sets up Paul Coffey. Coffey in a little deeper. Deeper still. Played it back to the net. Corey Millen in what would normally be Gretzky's position back there gets checked. Here's McTavish, and he's cleared it down the ice. 25 seconds has ticked off in the penalty against Manson. Paul Coffey winds up. Got tripped up over Domfus, and the play went offside. Coffey turns, appealing to referee Bill McCreary.
Pretty good move by the penalty killer. Again here, Coffey trying to find just enough opening. You see he put his right leg back. That's a deliberate trip that the Edmonton Oilers got away with.
Paul Coffey, one of the veterans who did skate this morning for Los Angeles. Granato, Gretzky, Huddy, Robitaille, McSorley, Rudy, and Millen took the morning off. They had an optional here today. The entire Edmonton team, including the extras, got in a full workout. The travel plans: Edmonton will charter back to the Northlands tomorrow at 10 a.m. Los Angeles will practice here, and they'll travel tomorrow afternoon at 2:30. Game 6 is in Edmonton on Tuesday night. If a 7th game is necessary, it's here at the Great Western Forum on Thursday night.
Speaking of Paul Coffey, when he started that rush, Jake, it was in the 3rd period of Game 4. Coffey got things wound up. Got 2 goals in the 3rd period. The Los Angeles Kings ended up getting 3 in a matter of 2 minutes and 41 seconds.
Revved it up and held on for a 4-3 win. Wayne Gretzky over on the far side of the ice controls the puck here. The pass to Gord Coffey, to Luc Robitaille. Robitaille to Gretzky, to Robitaille up the slot, gets checked, and the Oilers are able to clear it the length of the ice. One shot is all LA has had through the first minute of the power play. Here's Charlie Huddy. He's taken Rob Blake's spot of the power play. The pass toward Corey Millen. He's rushing it across the line here on the left side. Pulls up in the corner. Gave it to Robitaille. Back to Millen. Corey Millen upped on the boards. Robitaille feeds it to Coffey, and then right back to Robitaille. To Coffey. To Charlie Huddy. In deeper to Gretzky. One time to Ranford, the save. Then the rebound is slapped wide by Millen. Robitaille centers it back. This is Coffey. Paul Coffey to Luc Robitaille. Lets it go. Ranford the stop, and Lamb handles the rebound. Banks it, but didn't get it on the glass. Put it up into the seats instead. Clock stopped with 22 seconds left in the Los Angeles power play.
Twice on the power play, Jigs. The Los Angeles Kings have taken shots that Ranford has kicked directly out in front of the net. No one in a white uniform able to get a hold of it. That time shot over the boards by the Edmonton Oilers.
Tom Webster, you see the shake of the head, the concern, the disappointment in the power play to this stage. 3 shots at Ranford, but they said didn't get to the loose pucks, didn't get to the rebounds. The little things that'll win a game, win a series for you. Wayne Gretzky to take the draw. Granato parked on the left wing board. Sandstrom is on the right. Gretzky lost the draw. Tikkanen gets it outside the blue line. This is Blake. Out of Coffey. Coffey with Buckberger moving up. Played it across to Blake. Ron Blake. Now the man moving out of the zone. That's Paul Coffey. 3 Oilers stretched out at the blue line. Coffey brought the puck in, then shot it off Ranford. Tony Granato feeds it to Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky right at the end of the penalty. Got it back. Teams at 6 aside. Gretzky operating in the corner. Slipped it out in front. That was picked off and brought out by Richardson with a pass to Tikkanen. Tikkanen over the line. Big slap shot just wide of the LA net. And it rebounds. Granato finds Gretzky moving down right wing. Wayne Gretzky a slap shot just wide, and that bounces outside the blue line. all the way back into the Los Angeles zone before Waters can get to it.
A couple of exciting attempts at each end of the ice. Tikin, if he can blister it. Gretzky maybe doesn't shoot it quite as hard, but very accurate. He missed as well.
2-2 is our score. 10 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the third period at the Great Western Forum. The Kings trap the puck at the line, and McIntyre's shot just skipped wide. Kanelski trying to get it in deeper. Now Miller out of the corner with a shot that's blocked. The rebound was tipped wide. McIntyre in the near corner puts it in front of backhander. Oh, what a stop by Ranford, and there's no further play. More scuffling after the whistle. A full-scale scrum now in front of the Edmonton goal. The LA defense, to their credit, stays high. So their forwards are outnumbered 5-3. Some gloves in the face, some more pushing, more shoving, and the linesman pulling them apart and getting things settled down. With the score tied 2-2, we'll pause for a regional break. You're watching the 1992 Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports Channel America.
To unlock your body's potential, we proudly offer Soloflex. 32 old-fashioned iron-pumping exercises, each correct in form and balance, all on a simple machine that fits in the corner of your home. For a free brochure, call anytime.
If LA wins this hockey game, Jiggs, they'll look back. They won't look back at that particular flurry in front of the net with any significance. If they do not win, that was an opportunity there, an excellent opportunity for them to get ahead. They've had several here in the third period and haven't been able to finish them off.
Yeah, 38 shots at Bill Ranford in this game, 30 of them in the second and through to this stage of the third period, nearing the halfway point. And 8 shots in the first. 19 in the second period. They've had 11 more here in the third. All the scoring for LA came in the second period. Goal by Domfus of Edmonton tied the game 2-2 just before the 3-minute mark of this third period, and the Kings trying to control the puck deep in the Edmonton zone and played it back toward Blake. Shoveled it toward the net. Arielainen back into Klima. The puck came right out in front. They backhanded, and Ranford got a chunk of that and went wide. Rob Blake moves in toward the corner. Puts it back in the Edmonton goal. Brian Glynn slaps it around the boards. Blake held it. Shot it back in the net. Gary Lehman centers. Can't get it to Tony Granato, or Corey Millen rather. Here's Blake with a shot. Ran for the stop. It's on the doorstep. They score! Waved off. No goal. I wonder why.
Wow, it's going to make a tough explanation. Not only should the goal count, there should be a penalty to the Edmonton Oilers. Wow. We'll have to wait and see what that's all about. Unless the referee blew the whistle, which he had no business doing, the puck at no time was ever held by the goaltender.
Your attention, please. There is no goal. The whistle had blown.
The whistle had blown is the announcement by public address announcer David Courtney.
Well, there's the tip. The puck is in the air. It's still loose. There's the puck there, still loose. You can see the referee saying, I blew the whistle, no goal. What a tough break for the Los Angeles Kings. Millen jumping up and down. Blake held the puck in with that shot deflected. Look at the shot from behind. The cross-check by Hoggood. No goal. Millen is steaming mad, and I don't blame him. There's the puck. It was never held by Ranford.
The whistle had blown. Well,
that's another good scoring opportunity for the Los Angeles Kings. This time not really their own doing, but referee Bill McCreary's quick whistle. Wow.
Los Angeles 2, Edmonton 2. 9 minutes, 52 seconds left in the third as Coffey drills one. Stick save by Ranford, and Huddy plays it back in the net. Robitaille can't get to it. Taylor does. Able to move the puck toward Robitaille in time, and now the whistle sounds as Edmonton had started out of the zone, and there's going to be a penalty against Dave Manson.
I think Taylor's going to get one too, but I don't believe it, Jiggs.
Yeah, he is. He's gone too.
He got smacked a couple of times by Manson, as he explains it to Craig McTavish, but the referee has them both. McCreary now talking. That's the linesman, excuse me. No, it's McCreary. He's getting some of the refreshment from Manson sitting in the penalty box.
Penalties to Manson and Taylor called at the 10:20 mark. There's another game going on, both inside the head of the man you just looked at, Tom Webster, and also another one in his stomach, I think. Been that kind of a night.
Wow, when you see your team dominate the opposition and not come up with anything so far, you always think in terms of something crazy happening. Edmonton breaking out of this mess and getting up with a goal somehow.
Puck kicks loose following the draw, and the Edmonton Oilers dump it out towards center where Coffey knocks it down. Flips it up in the air. Chasing it back is Luke Richardson. Turns. Robitaille right on him. Richardson moved it up the boards. They don't get it out. Comes to the corner. The Kings centered across. Huddy moves in from the blue line. And Buchberger knocked it down and threw it out of the zone. The Kings recover with Coffey shooting it right back in. Ranford leaving it for Richardson. Rushing in on the play and laying a hit on his man was Kudelski. Tony Granato broke up the Edmonton rush, and here's Robitaille to Kudelski. Plays it off the boards, too far for Huddy. Buchberger with it here. Ali Buchberger down the right side, round one check. Couldn't get the puck in at the blue line. The Kings have it again. This is Robitaille, slipped it through the feet of Mellanby. Found some help in the form of Coffey, who turned it over. Then Mellanby is knocked down by Sandstrom. And Cavish gets to the line. Robitaille ties him up. The puck is brought over the line, offside as Buchberger brought it in. And an Oiler player up ahead of him. Situation is this: 8 minutes and 38 seconds left in the third. 2-2.
Every inch of the Lexus coupe was designed to exhilarate you, even when you're not moving.
I know your hearts are broken. You just missed the Polka Boys doing their thing again, but you can get their tape by dialing 1-900. There they are. 3 stars of this game
are sitting in front of them, and they're embarrassed. That's their dates, probably, or their wives or something. Look at these nitwits. They're having a good time here at the Great Western Forum.
We hope that you're having a good time wherever you're joining us for tonight's telecast of the game between the Kings and the Oilers. 2-2 is the score. Teams at full and equal strength. Ryan Glynn plays the puck up the boards. Bernie Nichols moves out, can't get through the pack, and it's loose inside the Los Angeles line. That's Rob Blake. Round off the stick of Gretzky. Gretzky tips it to McSorley. Back to Gretzky. 2-on-2 at center ice. Sandstrom with him on the right side. The puck was played into the corner on a deflection. Nichols and Sandstrom after it. Thomas Sandstrom to Wayne Gretzky. Glynn was all over him as he went back of the net. Now Sandstrom peels out of the corner. Can't regain control of it. Nice little play, and the Oilers got it out of the zone, only to have it shot back in. Ryan Glynn as the Kings went for a player change. Oilers come up the middle. Then fed one behind Nichols, and now it's Edmonton's turn to make a player change. Jim Waters steps back at the LA goal. Wanted a man moving up, that's Karolainen. Karolainen lays it down into the zone, knocking the linesman, Kevin Collins, off his skates. Hands react to that. Loose puck in the Oilers zone, picked up and brought out by Tikkanen. Tikkanen across the line. Slowed up. Dropped it back. Baranek taps it toward the corner. That's Klima. Klima trying to come through some traffic. The puck rattled around, and Tikkanen shot is blocked and covered by Kelly Rudy. Just exactly what you were talking about a few minutes ago. Something strange could happen, and Edmonton had a big chance.
Los Angeles getting careless in their own end of the ice, James. They're just not determined enough. They're coming up very short. Handling the puck in their own end of the ice. Kelly Rudy off Tikkanen. Prior to what you're seeing here, LA had an excellent opportunity to clear the puck, and there was the shot by Tikkanen. Kelly Rudy down, taking away the low ice, which was where Tikkanen was trying to make the play.
Tikkanen had the opening goal of the game tonight. Then Gretzky scored twice for the Kings. Dom Foose replied here in the third period for Edmonton. We're tied 2-2. Radek on the face-off. That's won by John McIntyre of Los Angeles. And Paul Coffey plays it around to the right side. Kings now get it out of the zone. Loose in the center ice area. Recovered by Huddy. Neat little pass. Here's Millen over the line. Corey Millen cuts to the right. Turns, held the puck to the man coming late. Coffey with a shot. Oh, and they run into Ranford, and there'll be a penalty. Donnelly is going to get the gate for interference. Ranford is still down, now just up on his skates. Donnelly will go to the penalty box. Edmonton will go to the power play.
Ran into Bill Ranford. LA gearing it up again, forcing the Edmonton Oilers to time and again make mistakes. There was the shot. Donnelly just lets fly with an elbow into the face of Ranford. Not a smart play by Donnelly. They had it going again, deep in Edmonton's end of the ice.
This is the fifth power play of the game for the Edmonton Oilers. 0 for 4 to the stage. And Edmonton with Nichols, Domfus, and Murphy up front. They have taken it as one of the point men, and Manson over on the other side. That's Nichols with a pass behind Murphy, but to Manson now. Plays it around the boards in the Los Angeles zone. Domfus a little off balance, recovers. Sets up Manson at the point, into Domfus. And deeper still to Bernie Nichols. Murphy calling for it at the side of the net. Taken with a shot, he scores! Taken in with a drive from inside the blue line, and the Oilers lead 3-2.
Goal number 10 on the power play for the Edmonton Oilers. Bob Kudelski made a bad mistake as a penalty killer. Kudelski moved away. There's Tikkanen's shot. There, it deflects off one of the Los Angeles Kings, beats Kelly Rudy, and it's a one-goal lead. The Edmonton Oilers. Tikkanen, his second goal of the hockey game, second of the playoffs.
How much bigger does that disallowed goal become now? Tikkanen with getting his head rubbed at the Edmonton bench.
Along with some of the opportunities that the Los Angeles Kings did not convert, did not finish. Tikkanen can blast it.
Nichols and Manson get the assist, but here's Robitaille trying to center one at the last second, and the play broken up, and the Oilers start out. This is Peter Klima, tugged at from behind, got it to Mellenby, a shot it wide. Klima can't get a stick on it, and Taylor chases it. Manson beat him to it. Into the corner for Mellenby. Huddy has him wrapped up. Now Peter Klima gets checked. Tony Granato starts out for Los Angeles. Robitaille moving up through center ice with him. Granato over the line, plays it around Manson. Robitaille goes after it. Kuyver was there. Gordon McIver to Mellenby, who was flattened on a hit from Huddy. Now Granato is knocked down back of the Edmonton goal, and the Oilers up with the puck. Lima gets to center and dumps it in right at the end of the shift. Both teams trying to make some changes here. Paul Coffey winds up with the puck. Coffey through center ice, over the Edmonton line. Coffey shoots, Ranford picks it out. Big rebound, and Sandstrom can't handle it. Robitaille does. Back in the net to Sandstrom. Around to Gretzky. Sets up Blake. His shot is blocked, and the puck comes out to center ice.
What a defensive move by Bernie Nichols as he took that shot away from Blake.
Now 5 minutes, 10 seconds left in the third period. McSorley over the line with a pass. Sandstrom's shot was turned aside. Marty McSorley gets wrapped up in the corner, and the Oilers break out of the zone. This is Mark Lamb. Has McTavish with him. McTavish taking the pass. Center, Buchberger checked on the play by Blake. Ron Blake to Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky couldn't get to the puck at center ice. Kings will set up in their own zone. This is Coffey. Paul Coffey trying to catch the Oilers on a change. Corey Millen gets to it now and dumps it in. Ranford holds it up back in the net, then played it away from Donnelly. Kings trying to hold it at the line, could not. Ottawa comes back. Ottawa out of Boston University turned it over, but it's offside. Fortunate break for Los Angeles. 4.5 minutes remaining, but the Kings trail on home ice. Rick Wilson on the left side of your picture. Tom Webster, the head coach, comparing their lotto numbers. No, they're comparing strategy here. Their eye in the sky. Cap Raider sits right below our broadcast area here at the Great Western Forum. Kings are trailing 3-2. And the puck is tipped in and out of the Edmonton players' bench, detected by linesman Brian Murphy.
43-23. That's what the shots on goal are in favor of the Kings, but the score is what counts. The Oilers 3, the Kings 2. Just under 5 minutes, or just over 4 minutes remaining in the third period.
Tom Webster making some changes. Huddy and Coffey come out on the ice. That's the defense combination. Donnelly is on the right. Karjalainen, or on the Donnelly on the left rather. Karjalainen on the right, with Corey Millen in the middle. Vanek to take the face off. He has Klima to the left and Tikkanen to the right. Edmonton won the draw. And up they come with Brian Glynn playing it around the boards. Kelly Rudy, the Edmonton, Alberta native, has left it for Paul Coffey. Coffey gets away from Tikkanen, then got checked at center by Klima. And Huddy drops back to recover the puck. Out to Donnelly. Cross ice. Up the hand of Karjalainen. Let it go to Ranford. He plays it around the boards. The Kings quick to get to it in the Edmonton end. They set something up. Donnelly lost it. The Oilers, it's a Tikkanen, takes Donnelly down, just whacked at him and got away with it. And he has the puck now. Tikkanen across the line, weaving through traffic, then dumps it in deeper. And Paul Coffey ends up with it. Coffey rushing it up through center ice. He's across the line. Coffey protected the puck. Shoots one. Ranford the save, and the Kings couldn't get to the rebound. Edmonton has dumped it the length of the ice. Kelly Rudy left it. Blake got back to touch up, and that's an icing against the Oilers.
That's two shore-to-shore shots by Paul Coffey here in the third period. He has gone coastline to coastline, and both times Bill Ranford has had to come up with a good stop. Nobody could feed off the rebound.
It's Rob Blake coming back into the Edmonton zone for the ensuing face-off. The power play goal by Tikkanen at 13:37 as Tom Webster's team in a hole, down 3-2. Boy, I think of the early years that I spent as the LA Kings broadcaster, and I'd say power play. Some of the suits that would come to the games in that era, I'm sure, thought we were referring to unfriendly corporate takeovers. Back in those days, there wasn't a whole lot of hockey expertise out here, and I'm not sure that it's changed a whole lot. They just don't come in shirts and ties anymore.
Well, I think it's changed some, Jigs. There's a wider base of hockey fans here that you help to develop.
Look out here. Oh, what a play as Manson got over to knock it away from Granato. Loose puck, and the Kings unable to get to it, and now Blake back in his own zone has given it to McSorley. Lifts it high out of the air and into the penalty box. The off-ice officials tonight are from San Jose, as they have been for the first two games of this series. Well, you know that Vancouver came alive with a big victory at home tonight to send that series back to Winnipeg. The Jets can win it there. Ted Green hoping that his team can go home up 3-2 and win it at the Northlands Coliseum on Tuesday night. 3 minutes and 3 seconds left. Can the comeback Kings stage something here? The home team.
Well, they did the last game. We were talking about it. They got 3 goals in 2 minutes and 41 seconds in the third period back at the Northlands Coliseum. But you can't rely on doing that every night. Teddy Green shouting orders out to his players.
Buckberger, McTavish, and Lamb on the ice for Edmonton as the forwards. Wayne Gretzky is out for Los Angeles. Gretzky went over to say something to Bill McCreary, and now they continue to talk. Puck put in play, and Huddy has given it to Coffey, then right back to Charlie Huddy. Up to Gretzky, to Sandstrom. They do get it out of the zone, but can't get through center ice cleanly. Huddy plays it up off the glass. It's Dave Manson shooting it down into the Los Angeles zone, right to Kelly Rudy. Rudy puts it back in the net for Donnelly. Donnelly pulls up on McTavish. The pass is to Huddy. Huddy. Right side to Sandstrom. Shot it in well wide of Ranford. Huddy comes in after it himself. Knocked it away from McIver. Back to the net. This is Donnelly. And to the point that there is nobody covering.
Pretty hard pass, too, to come out from the side of the net at that close range, Jake. No one was going to be able to get a handle on it anyway.
Both teams changing on the fly. The Kings have dumped the puck in, and the Oilers sky it out of the zone. All Coffey back for it. He and McSorley on defense together. Marty McSorley with the puck here. McSorley backhands Gets it into the Edmonton zone. Ford is Manson. Robitaille chased him back in the net. Gretzky held it, went to center. One that's cleared by Glynn. Held at the blue line. The Kings with a shot. Hit the post. Paul Coffey rang the bell to the right of the Edmonton goal. And now Robitaille is knocked down at the side of the net, and the Oilers get out of the zone. 1 minute, 45 seconds left. Edmonton leads 3-2. Coffey plays it around the boards to Dave Taylor. Back to McSorley. McSorley starts out. We'll keep an eye on Rudy. Here's McSorley over center ice. Long shot. Just eluded Ranford, but went wide. The Oilers trying to clear the zone. The Kings trying to hold it in. And Dew playing it toward the front of the net. Edmonton up with it. They clear the zone. Rudy has to back into the goal mouth as Klima breaks right in on goal. Peter Klima holds it, centers, Tikkanen into an empty net. 4-2 Edmonton. And Esa Tikkanen has 3 tonight. His first 3 in this series, and Edmonton is 1 minute and 15 seconds from taking a 3-2 lead in the series.
Los Angeles Kings were gambling, Jigs. They had to gamble. They had to force the play deep in Edmonton's end. Klima with speed held the puck. Good play by Peter Klima, who has had little ice time in this hockey game, but made it effective here as he passed it to Tikkanen coming late. And Esa Tikkanen gives the Edmonton Oilers a 2-goal lead as Klima, with that fake, held the puck and went wide. Kelly Rudy was so far out he was committed. There's the pass, the shot. Pretty well sews up the fate of the Los Angeles Kings in this hockey game.
3 unanswered goals, almost 4. Murphy went top shelf, only to be beaten by Rudy's catching glove. Don Foose just before the 3-minute mark tied it. And then Tikkanen in the last 6.5 minutes of the game has pretty much put it away for the Edmonton Oilers.
When you think back to the penalty that Mike Donnelly took when he interfered with Bill Ranford, Jigs, that was a very costly penalty. That, of course, resulted in a power play goal by Tikkanen. That seemed to turn it around for the Edmonton Oilers.
A large portion of this capacity crowd headed for the warm night air here in Southern California. Certainly wondering if maybe they've seen their last game at the Great Western Forum for this season. Or will they be back again Thursday? Rudy trying to get out of the LA net, cannot as the Oilers come over the line. One more chance for them. Don Foose one-handed put it wide of the net. Now 47 seconds left. As the Kings come to center, here's Millen across the line. Corey Millen gets knocked down. Blake going for the puck, trying to put it out in front. The LA goal is empty. They put all 6 attackers inside the Edmonton blue line. 33 seconds left. LA trying to get something set up here. They move it to the left wing boards. Now Donnelly puts it back in the net, but Manson is there. Around to the right point. That's Paul Coffey, forced outside the line before he could regain control. And the Kings regain the blue line. 2 goals by Wayne Gretzky, not enough. He said at the outset, and there's a long shot into an empty net for the Oilers to make it 5-2. Said at the outset that the Kings have to get more than 3 goals to win against Edmonton, and they didn't do it tonight.
Exactly, Jigs. That was Bernie Nichols with a little flicking wrist shot that he gets an empty netter with. Of course, the fate was sealed. Just a matter of running out the clock. Nichols said, why not? I'll get a goal here while I have the opportunity. I had some good chances throughout the hockey game, but when you think of the shots on goal, there's the shot by Bernie Nichols as it dances down the ice into the open net. 44-24, the shots on goal. Bill Ranford coming up with his best game of the series.
And a 4-point night for Bernie Nichols, a goal and 3 assists, and the Edmonton Oilers will go home with a chance to eliminate the Los Angeles Kings. 5.5 seconds remaining in this game. Rudy back out on the ice, and the Kings go down to defeat. Well, they held a lead at 2-1 going to the 3rd period, but couldn't hold it and couldn't get close again.
Well, it wasn't a smart hockey game for the Los Angeles Kings, Jigs. Unfortunately, they made too many bad plays, either with the puck or taking bad penalties. Didn't finish their plays well. They waited too long to put on a forechecking display that they needed to do in the 1st period.
And a big night for Esa Tikkanen, hat trick. His first 3 goals in this series. Kevin Lowe came back to play. You see the C on Lowe's jersey. And Edmonton has taken a 3-2 lead in games in this series. The final shots on goal. Well, in the third period, Los Angeles had 17 more for a game total of 44. Edmonton had 10 shots in the third period, a game total of 25. So big discrepancy, 44-25 shots on goal, favor of Los Angeles. But the Edmonton Oilers are the winners here. The final score, Oilers 5, Kings 2, and we'll pause for a regional break. You're watching the 1992 Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports Channel America.
Imagine a place where summer never ends. Orlando, Florida is the #1.
Oilers 5, the Los Angeles Kings 2, and Edmonton leads this best-of-7 series. Going home, they're up 3-2. When the series began, you'll recall that we said it was a matter of the Edmonton Oilers' future against the Edmonton Oilers' past. Well, obviously, the future is now. This young Edmonton team leads by a game, and very impressive third period.
Yes, they were, Jiggs, and even though they were outplayed by a great deal in some areas, they played to their game plan. You could see they didn't panic as a young team, and they just plodded along, and Bill Ranford really kept the Edmonton Oilers alive at times in the hockey game. When you think about Dan Foos's goal that tied the score, that came off a face-off in LA's end of the ice. Now, a veteran team, a smart team, isn't going to let that happen, but it did. Foos tied the score. Then Mike Donnelly took a bad penalty when he banged into Ranford, an interference penalty, and only 26 seconds after that penalty was called, we saw Esa Tikkanen bang in his second goal. He had been shooting laser beams all night. He had a hot stick, and he was blasting them. And here, the puck, you can see him with his back to us, standing out on the right point position, and he'll move in. Look at Kadelsky is in at the net. That leaves Tikkanen wide open to move in, and he just blasts it off the same Kadelsky. Kadelsky moving out, but he was too late. Tikkanen's goal, that gave the Edmonton Oilers a 1-goal lead, and they went on, of course, to get an empty netter, a couple more after that.
Nichols assisting in that goal along with Dave Manson. We look back at the entire third period scoring summary. As Ed mentioned, Vincent Damphousse tied the game 2-2 with assists from Murphy and Nichols at the 2:55 mark. Fourth goal of the series for Damphousse. Then the goal you just saw, Tikkanen assist to Nichols and Manson at 13:37. A little over 5 minutes later, Tikkanen is to get his third, and that really iced it into an empty net, although Rudy was on the ice but way out of position. Klima and Richardson assisted, and then with Rudy on the bench for an extra man, Bernie Nichols with his 5th goal of the series, set up by Dave Manson at 19:48. The shots on goal in the third period by the Kings, 17, the Oilers 10, 44-25. The total.
And also in the Norris Division semifinals. Well, Monday evening it's back to the Wales Conference, where the battle lines have already been drawn. Montreal had 28 more points than the Whalers in the season. The defending Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins must try to stop Dino Ciccarelli. They lead that series 3-1. The Caps trying to wrap it up on home ice. And the New York Rangers hope they have some momentum by virtue of their shutout win in New Jersey Saturday night by courtesy of Mike Richter's 33 saves. And on Monday evening, the New York Rangers skate at Madison Square Garden against the New Jersey Devils.